Hello, welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, I'm once again taking a look at one of your designs that you recommended me on mod.io. But today we are looking at another land racing vehicle, and this, if you have not seen it already, is the CHKN CO Porsche 911, which is, well, this lovely thing sitting right next to me. So this is an absolute marvel of engineering, where, well, the creator of this has gone an extra mile, but they've got an entire script created by them, as well as 2 maps listed on the Steam Workshop page to go along with this, which has all been set up, it counts your laps, and it's been very well made, and I have been testing out quite thoroughly, to the fact I do have about 12 laps on this map. So yes, grabbing hold of my character very quickly. This is the track in all of its glory. It's an absolute massive track, lots of corners, lots of deadly corners, lots of areas for you to drift around. Over there's the actual scoreboard of how many laps I've done, so I've done 13 in total, and it does come with a couple of vehicles, but one of them is missing, because I accidentally slammed it into a corner, and well, it's somewhere in space. So there's lots and lots of buildings, not much going on with them, apart from the pit stop over here. We do have a few bits and pieces that we can have a little wander around, but that's not the main point of this video. No, the main point of this video is the car, where I'm just going to show you straight off the bat, pressing this button, opening that up, and there we are. We've got an exceptionally fancy door system that just folds around, folds up, allows us to see the lovely wooden interior. We've got 2 seats to actually get in and drive this thing around. Able to hop into the seat and look to my left. There we go, it just falls all the way back down, and now we're sealed inside. And then turning my attention to the front, yes, this thing gets even more scarier, or even more impressive, depending on how you want to look at it. We've got our speedometer, then we've got an LCD screen telling us all the stuff about the vehicle, what settings we have enabled, as well as our gravity, for, well, sheer speed of when we're going around the track. And then to top it all off, bring up the HUD, here we go. Look at this, it is just an absolute terrifying image. Lots of stuff is flashing around there, lots of stuff is happening in the background thanks to the script. We'll go through that a bit later on. Anyway, grabbing hold of the free camera, hiding all of that, and pressing F10, the Porsche 911 is 304 small blocks using the Heavy Industry, Automaton, Signal, Wasteland, and Spark to the Future DLC packs. We've got all the very important controls listed up here, which can be a bit confusing from the cockpit view, so it's a very good job the creator has listed them on here. Yes, we've got different modes that we can switch through, from Race, Rally, Gravity Aligned, Sports Mode, as well as Maximum Height. Then all the way down to the bottom are specifications, as well as some nice commentary based on the performance of it and what it can do, such as drifting around corners. It's got rear-wheel drive, it leans itself automatically based on where you're turning to make sure you can actually make the corner, unlike traditional space engineers where the vehicle could just flip over, and so on and so forth. That goes on for quite some time because this is a seriously impressive vehicle. Until we get down to the bottom, where we see the creator has also created 2 little racetracks, but we're currently on this one right here. At least I think that is this one, but there's another one up in space. So go give this thing a thumbs up, move around towards the very front, have a quick look around the outside, then we're going to test it out around this track. What I suppose what we'll do right now is just zoom all the way away. This is the track in all of its glory, and there we are with some very large buildings, some small buildings, lots and lots of barriers for you to crash into, as well as this part right here. This is the part I absolutely struggle with. It's just a wibble wobble that goes all the way around. It's the only real lethal corner on this track, so when you're going around, the vehicle really wants to pull to the left, but you need to suddenly pull to the right. That's where a lot of my crashes tend to happen. But anyway, back over to the vehicle, over to here, past all of this, here we are, and the very front for the Porsche 911, this is what we get. We've got 2 spotlights to light up the darkness, with 2 offset spotlights right below there to act as our indicators. Grabbing hold of my character and holding down Q, then holding down E, we now activate them whenever we want. Back to the free camera with my light back on. In between them and in the middle of this, we've got some black corrugated skin to act as our air intake. Then below the bottom there are red armoured panels, just adding us that carbon fibre section to go around the bottom. Above that, we've got some lovely blue steel blocks and some blue armoured panels to make up the main body of the vehicle, leaving that overall very sleek and elegant design. We're moving the camera slightly up to here. Here we go, whoop, to where the camera was going just there. There we are, we've got some lovely window blocks for us to peer outside from our cockpits. Around on the side, there we go, so we've got our wheels. We're behind our front wheels on both sides, we've got a button to open it up to be able to get inside, but we saw that at the very start of the video. Across to here, we can see once again our red armoured panels just going along the bottom there. Now eventually go all the way around towards the back of this vehicle. But up to here, turning off my lights so we can get a better view of what's going on here. We've got some raised sections with some armoured panels sitting on some steel blocks that work so well for giving that overall look that the Porsche 911 has. Up to here, we then got a projector projecting a side section of our window, saves you having the actual window in place, which does make it a lot more easier to get in and out. But speaking about getting in and out, here's 2 of our hinges, which was going to be responsible for opening it up and lifting it all the way up, so it has very clear access to get inside. Moving back down towards the back there, there's the rest of our carbon fibre in red. And that comes all the way across to this section where we've got ourselves hydrogen engines being very cleverly split up by a beam block with an interior light on the front of it, just acts as your rear exhaust. Moving up to here, this is the only risky part of this vehicle. This red neon tube is acting as your rear brake light. Well, when you crash into stuff, it has a tendency of getting clipped into the vehicle, which causes it to go really wacky, or well, just clang in general. It is very easily fixable if it does happen. All you got to do is press 8 or 9 on the top bar itself to open and close your doors. That seems to just pop it out and put the vehicle back to normal. That's resting on top of some more beam blocks, just acts as that rear section for our spoiler to sit on. Then speaking of spoilers, putting my light up and come all the way around like so. And there we are, we've got some slanted armor panels, some square ones on his sides, and then we've got some unfinished blocks down there, just to connect it all up. Turning my attention to the back here we go. So there is our hydrogen engine just ticking away there. That's an absolute fantastic job, or fantastic placement of it, because then it does look like an actual proper engine for the vehicle. Pulling away from here and looking all the way down, there we are, not too much else to talk about there, but there's our hinges on the opposite side. Over to here we can make out our wooden section for our control seats, and our interior in general. Then towards the front there, we then got some columns that lead across to our spotlights, and then of course below them will be our indicators, which we saw at the very front. Moving down underneath this thing, here we go. So there's the very bottom of our red armoured panels. There's how our wheels have been set up and how they've been clipped in through some more steel blocks or armoured panels. Across there's some merge blocks for how stuff has been connected up. Then towards the back, here's our general hodgepodge of everything that's going to make it work. So there's the bottom of our hydrogen engines, we've got small batteries, we've got a connector so we can dock this thing up, be able to load it up with whatever you need, or stuff just for your adventure. And of course there's our projector right on the side there, projecting our side windows. And there we go. So that's that for the outside of the Porsche 911. This is a bloody fantastic how it's been all set up. I think now's time for me to grab on my character to show just how impressive this vehicle actually is, and just how impressive the script is as well. So without touching anything on here, what I'm going to do now is just turn this thing around. Here we go. And we're just going to very carefully bring it to a stop. Now what I'm going to do is hold left or right, and as you can see the vehicle's now going to tilt itself to show we've got maximum balance and we're not going to flip over when making a sharp turn. To driving forwards, here we go. We also have a very lovely sound that shoots out of it when we want to drive it around, makes it very much more realistic and very much more immersive. Then coming to the third person camera, what we can do is hold down space, hold down forwards. Now we can sort of rev up the engines. Here we go. And then once we're ready, we now let go of that and charge away at high speed. So if you're in the drag race, there you are. This is the very dangerous corner that I talked about at the very start when we zoomed away, look at the track. So driving around at high speeds, here we go, all the way around, and just making some light corners here. You see how the vehicle is altering itself, make sure we're not going to do any kind of risky corners, and to make sure we're always going to be able to make it round the corner, unless of course you're a bad driver like I am, and we'll just hit into every mortal thing. Here we go one more time, around to here we go, this is an absolute perfect example with the default settings spawned straight out of the box, and then round we go once again. It feels like it really wants to tip over, but will absolutely not. But if you do tip over, the creator has gone one further with this vehicle and made it so it will automatically flip itself all the way over. So if you do end up on your roof, there's no risk of this thing ever getting stuck on its roof, but just realign itself, and away you go once again. I'll also make my way off this track, wherever a natural gap is to get off the track. And we'll come around into this section. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Might have to use the free camera to drop it away from the track. So all the way over to here, onto this lovely little ice patch, down we come, and there we are. What we're going to do now is show off the drifting. Yes, this thing can drift very, very well. So coming along here, and then pressing that, we now turn this thing around, and then off we go. We now do a massive drift all the way around, and we now hit spacebar, make it come to a stop a bit quicker, and eventually we'll realign ourselves to drive around a bit more. So here we go, we now see this is flashing, we've got our traction on. It's flashing, telling us we're drifting around there and we're not very safe. Here we go, we now realigned ourselves, and away we go once again. And of course in the middle there it does update, so we see our speedometer. We're now approaching 360 kilometers an hour. Be kind of worried if that was miles per hour. That's generally what I'm used to because I'm in the UK. Yes, for the rest of the controls here, we now press number 1 for traction control. Number 2 is for a drift, but that's the tendency to flip the vehicle over. Here we go, we're now drifting around. Yes, like I was saying, to artificially flip this on my roof, here we go. As you can see, it's not going to flip over. No, it's going to save you every time. So doing that one more time, moving forwards, here we go. We're now going to put our traction on, and then suddenly I'm going to start to drift it quite violently while also making it lean over, make it try and flip over. Here we go, all the way round, and I'm going to try and flip this all the way over. But no matter how much I try, as you can see that it just snaps down back onto its 4 wheels. Even though this keeps happening, it's still going to keep aligning itself to make sure we're always on our 4 wheels, and we just drive away in safety. So there we go, we've got an automatic safety system, which is very nice stuff. And as for the rest of these controls, we then got our rear wheel steering, which is very, very useful. We then got an extra power steering, where we can get even more power to our wheels if we want to go real fast. We've got efficiency, which is survival mode, which should make sure we're not going to be using too much power to try and extend out our batteries for as much as possible. Then we've got, of course, our engines on and off. Now, tab number 2, this is very important because it's going to change our racing mode or our suspension mode, where number 1 can be for our race mode, number 2 is then going to be for our rally mode, number 3 is going to be for your gravity alignment mode, number 4 is then going to be for your sports mode, which is my personal favourite out of all of these. Then number 5 is going to be for your height mode. It's back over to the sports suspension. Bring my character back to the very start of the racetrack. We'll now go around properly, and I'll show you just how great this thing actually is. And here we are now at the start of the racetrack, and it's time for me to drive this all the way around. We're going to do it in third person view, zooming in a little bit. And here we go, for the first corner, which is the worst one on the track. Now I'm going to just slam on the brakes a little bit, do some very sharp cornering, and we'll go extremely slow around that section. With the rest of this thing, we can sort of just gun it. There is a few other little dodgy places, but they're not too bad. This is one of the other dodgy places here, so we come across like that. And then all the way around, got to zigzag it a little bit. But apart from that section, this part, and all the rest of it, we just charge all the way around, no problems whatsoever. There we go, almost lost it there, but I just slammed on the brakes, and it will just lent into it to let me go all the way around. Past this section. Got to keep adjusting it a little bit, round to this part. Now we're just parallel to the starting line, but we've still got a few more places to go. Another sharp corner. That's another very dangerous corner because it's very easy to slam into that building. But then coming around to the final corner, here we go. And there we are, just tapping the brake a little bit. And off we go once again. I'll go do that one more time. Here we are. And there we are, lap 14. So putting on the brakes a little bit, round to there, round to there. That was a very clean corner, if I do say so myself. And around to this part. Going a bit wide on that corner, but it should not matter. Into here, slamming on the brakes a bit more. Round to there, we're going to bump into the barrier, but it shouldn't matter too much on the timing. And around onto a nice big corner, where we just do absolutely low, because we can see the vehicle just leaning all the way down to prevent it from flipping over. Round to this one. There we are, a bit of a wide corner once again. And off we go past the stands. Past this big building. Then past a few more stands. We've got some billboards up there, which is quite distracting with how they pop in the last seconds. And here we are once again, parallel to the starting line. 2 more corners to go. There's the first one. And here is the last one. Well, I say here was the last one. That was a bit early, but here is the actual last one. Now we come around once again. We just come into this section, then pull into the pit stop. And there we are. That's what this vehicle has to offer, and what this track has to offer. One thing what I can do is now get rid of that, and open up this doorway, because there's a few little sneaky places where we can go in this section. So opening up this doorway, into here we've got a massive area, very detailed areas that you're not going to normally see, but all the way down to the bottom, we then have this. And then got ourselves a winning vehicle right here, as well as a trophy right there. We do some text right at the very bottom, where it says the FE Season 6 Race 5, and it's the first race trophy. So there we are, and that's the vehicle right over here. And of course, over to this section, we then got ourselves a little area to do some maintenance works. We can press that, that's going to raise all the way up, and spin it all the way around. So there we go, we now bring it all the way up to the very top there. And we'll do maintenance work on there, or just use it as a show platform, if that's what you want to do. I suppose if you win the race, you can now just put it all the way up to the top there. So we'll bring free camera all the way over into this part. And there we go. We now have the vehicle all the way up onto this section. Just drive it all the way around into this part, which is where we have our vehicle and our winning podium, as well as a little disco floor right at the very bottom. Anyway, as for the rest of this track, grabbing hold of the free camera and having a quick pan around before we end this video. Since we've got a big building up here, got lots and lots of floors, so we can decorate it if you wanted to. Got a little radar tower right there, another small building with some lovely blue lighting, and all the way across onto this part. And then got a billboard into this part and a little radar tower. Over onto this part. There we go, another building. To this part, a much smaller building, with stuff actually going on with it. So in here, we've got chairs, we've got a counter block, we've got a time of day, we've got a fish block, we've got a project table, and we've got ways where we can go all the way down. Onto the bottom section, we've got even more seats. Yes, I'm not too sure what this place actually is, but it could just be a place for the drivers to hang out after the race or before the race. And I think we need to go around to this section. I'm getting a bit topsy-turvy of where I need to go. There's a big building, another small building, lots and lots of places for your fans to sit on and cheer you on if you want to go around the race course. And then last but not least, we should have some more buildings around here, some more smaller buildings, some more larger buildings. That could be the same ones as what we just saw just a second ago. And well, that's about it for the race course and what it has to offer. But yes, after the main point of this video, the land vehicle is a bloody excellent little land vehicle to use around on a race course, and does look great in general, and it's absolutely impressive how it's been set up with the script, and of course the moving door up here. Absolutely fantastic stuff, how smooth and how safe it actually is. But yes, as for that, that's it for this video. There'll be a link to a description below to download and play around yourself. Highly recommend you do, especially the race course. This is an absolutely fantastic race course because it does come with a bunch of vehicles very similarly set up to this vehicle. So you don't have to download a separate blueprint, you can just download the map and just go and have a little race around. That's what we want to do. So yes, like I said, there'll be a link to a description below to download and play around yourself. Highly recommend you do. And I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.